Hey, yo,
Yo, what's up?
ladies and gentlemen, some people are calling it one of the best weekends of college football they've seen in a very, very long time. Understand, number 6 Tennessee beat number 3 Alabama, number 13 TCU beat number 9 Oklahoma State, number 20 Utah beat number 7 USC. There's similarities in all three of those games. The first one being all of those games for the higher ranked teams were on the road. But here's a deeper dive before we get started. Understand, Alabama had a lead in the fourth quarter in Neyland Stadium. Understand that Oklahoma State had a 14-point lead going into the fourth quarter against TCU on the road in Fort Worth. And understand that USC had a lead in the fourth quarter as well. B Hill, you're a hip hop aficionado, right?
Right.
Who wrote the song "Keep Your Head Up"? Do you know? It's an old school song.
Keep your head. Is that Tupac?
That's Tupac Shakur.
Yeah.
So,
There it
with
is.
that being said, Alabama, Oklahoma State, USC, you took an L where you could have easily had a dub on the road against conference opponents. Keep your heads up. But to Tennessee, TCU, and Utah, boy, welcome to the big house. With that being said, my name is Corey Hilliard. The man next to me is Brandon Hill, aka B Hill, aka B. We are the House Divided. Whether you've been here before or if this is your first time, mi casa su casa. But you know how we do it here. Got you hit you with the house rules. B, you got them.
Yeah. You guys already know what time it is around here. Hop down there and subscribe if you guys have not already. Go ahead, hit that notification bell as well. That way you can be up to date on all our newest content about to come out. Another thing, if you would, we want to hear from you guys. Hop down in those comment boxes. Leave any kind of comments. Good, bad, indifferent. Doesn't matter to us one way or another. And another thing, too, if you guys are liking this content, you like what you're seeing, like what you're hearing, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button underneath this screen right there so that can help us with the algorithm as well. Man, like you did say, this right here, man, this was a wild weekend in college football, bro.
It was thick,
I mean,
bro.
we had some teams that basically showed themselves as either the real thing or basically pretenders. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying by any means in this first game that we're going to talk about Alabama and Tennessee that Alabama's a pretender, because they're not. I mean, even in the polls, all they essentially did was flip the team's rankings. Tennessee's 3 now, Alabama's number 6. So I go into that all being said, there was a lot of plays in that game that Alabama could have won the game. You know what I'm saying? But if he wasn't already, he is now. Hendon Hooker, my guy. Oh my gosh. You said it on the show, on our intriguing matchup show when we talked about this game, Corey. You said that man Hendon Hooker is the dude.
Truth.
Now he threw his first interception of the season this year.
It's against Bama.
You would think that was just going to deter this guy. No, he went 21 for 30, 385, and he had 5 passing touchdowns with a 94.3 QBR. That dude absolutely balled. In a game where you're supposed to do those kind of things, you're supposed to step up, he did that. He did it, man. I mean, Hyatt over there, that receiver for Tennessee, that dude's bad.
5 tutties. 5
against
tutties.
Alabama, against the Nick Saban-led defense, everything, all the 5 stars, everything aboard. I mean, a couple years ago, people were saying that Tennessee was a freaking dumpster fire. You know what I'm saying? Remember all those players they were transferring out?
Yeah.
I mean, the running back for Oklahoma, Eric Gray, Key Lawrence, that guy. I mean, they lost their tackle to us. I mean, OU just took all them players. Well, look at Tennessee now, folks. Look at them now. They don't even really need a running game because they have their quarterback that can run that makes up for that. But And their defense, I mean, Alabama was able to score right there with them.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's always going to be a concern for this Tennessee team going forward.
Right.
They're not a great defensive team. You know what I mean? They
Right.
gave up 33 to Florida. They've given up points. They did shut down LSU last week. But when you have Hendon Hooker in this offense, bro,
yeah,
really don't think you might not need a defense, man. And on a show, when we previewed this, I said they would win by 10. Obviously, I was wrong. I did pick them to win. But they got up to 28 to 10 at one point.
No,
It was about to be a rout, but Alabama and Nick Saban, like you said in the preview show, showed their mettle. They came back, they made it a game. And honestly, that field goal that they kicked with 20 seconds left was wide right. It had enough leg. It was long enough. Dude just missed it. And how about Josh Heupel? 15 seconds left. Easy to say, hey, let's get him in overtime. This dude drops back, calls 2 passing plays, hit 2 in routes, one for about 20-something, another one for about 25. Timeout, 2 seconds left, field goal, we out.
Yeah.
First cigar in 15 years. They broke a 15-year losing streak to the Alabama Crimson Tide, and they all got to smoke them cigars, big dog. It was unbelievable.
Hey, man, and the fans took the goalpost down.
Of course.
Carrying that thing all around town. You know what I mean? They took it up the streets of the local bars and everything. I mean, dude, that's a party. That's absolutely amazing, though. You like to see that kind of stuff. You like that kind of fandom. I love it. I mean, let the fans rush the field, man. You know what I'm saying? Them Tennessee fans deserve this right now.
Bro.
They absolutely do. I'm done picking against them this year. This is the second time I've done it. And
you're going to learn your lesson.
I'm not going to do it no more, man.
We'll see when they play Georgia in a few weeks. We'll see what you do.
Ooh. That is going to happen. That's a matchup right there, Corey. You got anything else on this game before we move on to the next one?
No, sir. Rocky Top.
Good job. Good job. Congrats. Tennessee and Hooker, definitely the leader for the Heisman right now. Easy. Yeah, easy. Not even a question. I don't even know anybody that's close. So, this next team, though, yes, this one kind of strikes home for you a little bit more, Corey. This one has a little more sting to it. I do want to point out, though, in this Oklahoma State TCU game, that the spread was at 4.5 or 4 points, 4 even.
Yeah, TCU,
I said TCU. If I'm not mistaken, I did say TCU was going to win, but they would not cover.
You did. You called it on the button.
And I said that they were going to win by 3 points.
You did.
And what did they do?
Nostradamus. They won by 3, man.
And that's no disrespect to Oklahoma State, man, because you guys were right there. You had them. You let your foot off the gas, and when you come out and you score a donut in the fourth quarter, you know what I'm saying, and you can't put a team away.
It hurts.
That's not going to usually work out very well for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you started off 24-13 was the score.
Yeah.
It might have got to 27-13.
It was 30-16 going into the fourth quarter. It was a 14-point lead. This is one of these games. You know, I can get on here and bitch and complain and moan. I'm not.
Yeah.
30-16 on the road against a top 15 opponent. You would like to say, hey, we should be able to finish that off. It hurts. I'm not gonna lie, it hurts.
Right.
Gundy got super conservative. The game was in hand. It was in reach.
Usually does.
And that's his MO. He got super duper conservative. TCU on their last 2 drives of the fourth quarter went down and scored touchdowns. And that's all that you can say. And then in overtime, they beat us. This is not on the players. This is way more to me on Gundy Casey Dunn's play calling. B, if you play somebody for 3 quarters and you're up 30-16, you've shown that you had a good game plan and that you were doing everything that what you wanted to do. And then for all that you've done, everything that went into it, and come in the fourth quarter and lose that 14-point lead just because you were conservative and you were just trying to hold on to win.
That doesn't
sad.
No, it hurts. I hurt for you, my guy. I mean, that one that sucked. You know what I'm saying? Y'all were right there, but y'all's playoff hopes aren't over. Don't think that the season's lost. That was a great game. It was on the road. I literally believe that I also said if this was in Stillwater, I probably would have picked OSU to win the game. Just so happened when you go down there to Fort Worth, and them fans over there, they get loud and they get proud for their TCU Horned Frogs, man. They really
that stadium was packed.
And Max Duggan, dude, he's not making mistakes. That dude is not making mistakes. And that receiver, Johnston, Quentin Johnson, that dude's a beast, dude. He's a freaking beast. 8 receptions, 180 yards, and a touchdown. Like, you guys literally had nobody that could cover that guy. That was one of the biggest problems right there. Y'all's secondary, we'll point that out again, y'all's secondary is the only thing holding you back right now because your D-line and your linebacker play is here. That's here.
Yeah.
But your secondary, it's a little...
B, who's holding Johnston to under 100 yards in the Big 12?
Nobody.
Okay.
Nobody.
Good.
Nobody.
I wanted you to say that. Thank you. The second thing is, through 3 quarters, we held them to 16. This is the number 2 ranked offense in the nation. And we put clamps on them for the first 3 quarters. We put absolute clamps on them. They had 16 points through the first 3 quarters. So, you bring up a good point about Johnson and our secondary, and that's all fine and well. I understand you, but I'm going to have to push back a little bit because, good grief. 3 quarters, 16 points for the number 2 ranked offense in the country. We made Duggan look very ordinary the first 3 quarters. That was not the Max Duggan the first 3 quarters that you saw the first 5 games of the year for TCU.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. No. But at the end of the day,
they won.
They figured it out.
They made plays. I tip my cap. They are the team to beat in the Big 12. They're the number 1 team in the Big 12. It was rightfully deserved.
Who called that? Who called that? No, who called the Big 12 TCU being the favorites in the Big 12?
Oh, hell. Come on, bro. Nobody.
If you'd have told me before the season, 6 games into it, that TCU is going to be in first in the Big 12 and they're going to be the favorites, get off.
But B, let's be honest. If Alabama and Tennessee plays that game in Tuscaloosa, who wins?
Oh, Alabama.
If TCU and Oklahoma State plays that game in Stillwater, who wins?
Oklahoma State.
The next game we're about to talk about, Utah and USC. If that game's played in Los Angeles, who wins? USC.
Maybe. Their home field is whacked, bro.
Bro,
I have a good home.
Okay. Are we done with this game so we can talk about the next one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go. Let's move on to this Utah USC game, man.
Because who called this one, big dog?
You did. I think you said that they were going to beat them by a couple scores, though, didn't you? Or did you just say that USC wasn't going to win?
I didn't know. I said that for Tennessee. I didn't say that for this one. I spat off a bunch of stats about Utah not losing at home to a conference opponent since 2018.
Right.
Well, actually, did you watch the game? How much of the game did you watch?
Not much, because I went out to Bricktown last night, did the little Bricktown experience. You know what I'm saying? So
this game was lit, dog.
Man, just looking at the stats, looking at the box score, you had Caleb Williams, 25, 42, 381, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, 89.9 QBR. Usually, if you have that kind of performance for your team, you're winning the game.
Win. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then they had 2 receivers. Jordan Addison, that looked pretty ugly on that injury. I don't know. Have you heard anything about his status or where he's at?
I have not, man.
Because he did not come back into that game. So if they lose Jordan Addison, that's bad. Like, that's not a good thing. Because you don't want to lose that guy. But Cameron Rising, I'm sorry. He showed up, handled his business. Now, he made that USC defense look like what it's supposed to, basically.
Yeah.
That's the Alex Grinch that I know. That was him. There he was. It came out. That speed D, all that little yoga training and everything else. When you ran up against the team, they could actually run the ball. That tight end, Kincaid.
Oh, yeah.
Is that his name, Kincaid?
Yes, sir.
Dude, that dude is a beast. He's the next Travis Kelce.
Dalton Kincaid. Him and the tight end Bowers from Georgia.
16 receptions for 234 yards and a touchdown, my guy.
Yeah, he was eating.
He balled.
How much of that is USC's defense or how much of that is him?
A little bit of both. Because if you have 234 yards against a Division I opponent, you're balling, dude. I don't care who you're playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. you do something like that, and I'm pretty sure it's targets. He didn't drop very many. I don't think I've seen him drop very many.
I haven't either.
Man, he's a future NFL superstar at tight end. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
one of those guys.
Big cojones to Kyle Whittingham, the coach. USC's up 42-35. God bless you.
Right. No, I'm sorry.
Utah goes down to score with about 40 seconds left. 42-41. Yep. What do? You kick an extra point? Kyle Whittingham said, hell no. I'm going for it. I'm going for two.
Why not?
Why not? You have nothing else to lose. You just lost to UCLA.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly,
screw it.
Bro.
We're at home. I'm taking this dub right now. I'm not messing around with you in overtime. Caleb Williams, Lincoln Riley. I want no parts of that. Love that call, bro. And Cameron Rising just got in. He scrambled, made a head-up play, and got in. And unbelievable, man. It was an unbelievable game.
Hey, USC, my pick for the Pac-12, that's looking a little suspect right now, man, because they got games coming up against some pretty good teams.
Who's that?
Pretty sure they got to play Oregon, if I'm not mistaken. No, they don't got to play Oregon, but they could potentially face them in the Pac-12 championship game, if I'm not mistaken. Could be right, I could be wrong on that. Well, I'll have to check as far as the divisions.
They got Arizona, California, Colorado, UCLA, Notre Dame.
Circle that UCLA game, and don't sleep on Notre Dame at the end of the season.
Heck no.
It's at UCLA in the Rose Bowl. That place will be rocking. Them UCLA fans, they'll come. They will come.
Guess who's the highest rated Pac-12 team?
UCLA.
At number 9.
Yeah.
Who called that one?
Balling. Dude,
who called that one?
Nobody. But we should have been paying a little bit more attention and giving a little bit more respect, though. Acting like Chip Kelly ain't never done some stuff like this before.
Seriously, no, that's facts.
I mean, because he's out here, he's kind of been in that program now. He's getting that established over there. So, just looking ahead, USC they dropped down to 12. Ooh, they better get their stuff together. But that's that classic Lincoln Riley losing a game. There it is. Them Utah U, Oregon, and UCLA are always going to be a thorn in his side.
That's not fair, dog.
Why not?
Everybody loses a game, bro.
No, why is that not fair? No, not everybody.
Everybody loses a game. You said that when Alabama lost, they didn't even play in the championship and they beat Georgia. They didn't play in the SEC championship and beat Georgia in the national championship. Typically, everybody loses a game, dog. Come on, man.
No,
you know what I mean? Fair. Let's be fair. You know what I mean? OU's done it You're being tough on them, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah, absolutely I am.
You think Nick Saban's like? Let me ask you this.
And they had what? Yeah.
You think Nick Saban's going to be in the CFP by the end of the year in Alabama?
Yes.
Did they just lose the game?
Well, fair. But they won't lose another one.
Georgia, last year's national champion, they lost the game.
No, that's
okay.
fair.
You're talking about there's rarefied air when you get into these championship talks. 2019 LSU, 2018 Clemson, those teams went undefeated. Very rarely, bro, do teams go undefeated, dog.
Yeah, but the level to it, though, like of an Alabama losing, if they lose, it's to the number 16 at their home. Or losing to a top-ranked Georgia in a national title game. Or lose, you know what I'm saying? You get, bro.
Utah's the defending Pac-12 champions,
but they're number 20 in the
Pac-12
nation.
champs.
But they were number 20 in the nation before coming in this game.
Out of 100 and something teams, that's damn good. If you're telling me I could be 20 out of 100 or something,
no, I'm not saying that it's not good. All I'm saying is there's levels to this. 100%. That's why if you had Georgia sitting there undefeated, right? And then they played a one-loss Alabama for the SEC championship game, and Alabama beat them, Georgia's going to the national title game still, or to the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Easy. That's what I'm saying, because those games hold a lot of weight.
No doubt.
That game is going to hold a lot more weight than a USC team losing to a Utah. You see what I'm saying? Because Utah lost to one of the worst teams in the SEC, Florida. Okay. Florida's lost 2 or 3 games this year since beating Utah. So we could sit here all night and have this discussion. I'm just saying, just simply as far as like USC and Alabama, when they lose, it holds a lot less. I mean, just look, they dropped them to 6, Corey.
Yeah,
USC got dropped from 7 to 12.
I know.
You see what I mean?
USC did not trail in that game until 40 seconds left. They 100%. Were ahead the whole freaking game. They never trailed until they went for 2. That 2-point conversion is the only time Utah led that game. It's not a bad loss. It's not.
No, it's not.
Nobody beats Utah at home in that conference. Nobody does.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. USC's still in the driver's seat in the Pac-12.
Now, are they in the same division? Are they in the same division?
I don't know. I'd have to look. How did we look at that? Let me look here. Pac-12. Hey, where's the Pac-12 at?
Oh, no. I'm trying to find it too.
I got it. That's a round robin. So they're basically to where.
No, there's a South and a North.
They're
both in the South. It's Colorado, Arizona State, USC, UCLA, Utah.
Uh-oh.
The Pac-12, their best 3 teams are all in the same division.
SpaghettiOs.
UCLA has a foothold on that right now. If USC beats UCLA, there's going to be a 3-way tie for that division.
Them 4 teams, though, up there at the top, I mean, they got the number 9, number 10, number 12, and number 15 team in the nation. So sleep on the Pac-12 if you want, folks. But they're making noise. They're making noise, just like the Big 12. So this next game on our docket, I want to talk about that Penn State, Michigan. That game, I mean, it was a highly rated game coming into it, but Michigan showed that they are very, very much far superior of Penn State. Penn State could absolutely do nothing. They had no chance from the get-go, and that running back for Michigan,
Corum,
he's a monster.
I love that dude. He reminds me very much of the running back from K-State, Deuce
McAllister?
No,
or
no.
Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah, I like those
Yeah,
two. Those two running backs, I love those guys.
but
Corum's a beast.
but they had him and they had Edwards. They got a two-headed
Yeah,
attack over
they
there in
got a
Michigan,
two-headed
man. I mean,
monster. Yeah.
they had 418 rushing yards as a team in this game, Corey. That's ridiculous, dude.
You
That's
said,
ridiculous.
bro,
Penn
400
State,
yards on the ground, dog.
Penn
Come
State
on.
should be ashamed of themselves. I mean, not even Oklahoma gave up that much.
No, man. It's just, it goes to show you that Big Ten is a two-team league. I said that. Me and you both said that actually a few weeks ago.
That Michigan Ohio State game is going to be one for the ages. This
The
year,
one for
my
the
guy.
ages, man.
They're going to
In
be
the
top
horseshoe.
5 teams. Who you got right now?
I honestly like Michigan, bro.
You like them better than Ohio State right
Yeah,
now?
because they got a run game. They got a legit run game, and that travels. I mean, Corum's going to be the best player on the field, maybe CJ Stroud, but I like Corum, man. If they can control the ball and eat the clock up and keep that OSU Ohio State offense off the field, and then you say the other running back, he's no slouch either. Come on, bro.
And their quarterback just does enough. To where he doesn't, you know what I mean? But their defense, they play solid defense.
Yeah, don't turn the ball over. Don't mess up this. Don't mess this up.
Exactly. Exactly. That's pretty much all he has to. Man, I like what Harbaugh's got going on over there in Michigan this year, man. It's something special brewing over there.
Yep.
So, you got anything else on this game?
Nope.
All right, man. This next game that I want to talk about. The other team in Oklahoma had a good day.
Look who showed up to the Big 12 party.
Man, we finally won us
welcome.
a game, baby.
Welcome to the party, OU.
Yay. Now, I mean, a lot of people are going to be like, it's Kansas. No, folks, Kansas was better this year than what they had been in years past. This ain't your dad's Kansas Jayhawks, like I said in the show.
Let me stop you right there before you go on. This same Kansas team lost to TCU by 7 points a week ago.
Right.
TCU is the front runner right now for the Big 12 championship.
Right.
Everybody's giving TCU their flowers. This Kansas team played TCU to a 7-point game with their backup quarterback. So anybody poo-pooing OU's win over Kansas right now is a damn fool because Kansas is a damn good football team. If we're going to give TCU their flowers, we damn sure better acknowledge that Kansas almost beat TCU. All right. And this win for OU was legit.
Hey, man, I was happy with what I seen on Saturday, man. I mean, you had Dylan Gabriel minus the interception and then the 2 fumbles. Those fumbles were like bad fumbles too. Like they weren't just it was literally that one he tried to toss the ball back and it fell out of his dang hand. And then he had that other one where his running back ran into his arm. You could say that's a little bit on Javonte Barnes, but that's on Dylan Gabriel too for not having awareness of what's around you. Mm-hmm. So other than that, though, he was pretty flawless. His throws looked good. I mean, he was getting the ball to his receiver. For some reason, he likes to overthrow Marvin Mims quite a bit. There was probably like 2 or 3 plays again in this game to where if he connects with Marvin Mims, it's a touchdown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Marvin I think Mims he overestimates his speed sometimes.
I don't know. I mean, he's just chucking it down there, but I was happy to see OU scoring again, getting back to looking like a dominant physical run team with Eric Gray, 20 carries for 176 yards and 2 touchdowns. That man's cutting ability, he's got some moves.
Yeah.
So, and OU's going into a bye week. I want to ask you something, Corey. Do you think that this is something that will springboard Oklahoma? Because honestly, we can sit here and say Oklahoma probably doesn't beat Texas even with Dylan Gabriel, but I really do feel like it would have been a much different game because there's something to be said when you have a quarterback that can actually get your playmakers the ball versus one to where you were basically going 3 and out on every drive and your defense was on the field a majority of the time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you
I don't know.
You think they can win this? I mean, they've got Iowa State coming out of the bye. You know what I'm saying? So you got Iowa State.
That's the best defensive team in the Big 12.
Then they got Baylor. And then at West Virginia. They're at home for Bedlam. And then at Texas Tech. Those are all games. I'm not saying that I'm picking OU to win every single one of those games, but those are all games that they have the capability, if they put on a performance like they did this last Saturday, to win.
They're all winnable games. They're all winnable games.
And I don't care if Oklahoma State's ranked in the top 10 at that point. You come rolling up into Norman, Oklahoma, my man.
Yeah,
you think that we're going to sit there and look at you guys like you're top 10? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not going to be. Those uniforms, too, by the way.
I didn't like them.
Well, that's fine.
I didn't like them.
I love them.
But here, let me answer your question real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
You guys have a defensive problem. You still give up 42 points.
We did.
You know what I mean?
But there were, even though I really do feel like it was worse than it wasn't as bad as what the scoreboard indicated. I seen flashes of some things to where, okay, he just doesn't. Brent Venables doesn't have his personnel in there yet, man.
Yeah. It's definitely not for lack of trying, is what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You guys still have a defensive problem, and I worry about that.
Absolutely.
Now, can you beat Iowa State? Yeah. Baylor, that's going to be a problem, but it's at home. OSU, that's going to be a problem, but it's at home. Out of all of those games you just reeled off that they have left, the two toughest ones are going to be at home for you guys. So, look, if you want to be optimistic and say, hey, can they win the next 5 games? Yes, absolutely. They'll be in every game if they play like they did against Kansas. But we saw what it was against K-State when Dylan Gabriel played the whole game. We saw what it was against TCU. When Dylan Gabriel got hurt, it was already 34-10. So I'm just saying,
second quarter.
And it was already 34-10 when he went out. So the defense. You guys need to take a page out of what Mike Gundy and the Cowboys did last year. They took the damn ball out of Spencer Sanders' hands last year. They became a running team, and we had a really good defense. So you got one of the best running backs in the Big 12, Gray. Run that dude. He should have 25, 30 carries a game. And then you guys got to figure out what the hell you're doing on defense. You got to hold teams to under 35-30. Right?
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
So you guys got a chance.
OU's capable of scoring with anybody.
Yeah.
They're very capable of it, even though against TCU it didn't look like it. But, I mean, when you put Davis Bevel out there, you're not scoring very many points.
I think most OU fans are just like in shock because they went through a 3-game slump. Like, oh my gosh, we're OU. What is this? We lost 3 games in a row for the first time in forever.
Not only that, but that 3rd game in a row that we lost was to our rival, and we got absolutely ramsacked.
Y'all didn't have a damn quarterback, dog.
No, that's fair.
Like, y'all didn't have a damn quarterback.
If we had Dylan Gabriel, that changes the whole dynamic of that game.
I think y'all still lose. I don't know, but
I don't know. But it changes a lot, though. I mean, it makes it. I mean, as a defensive coach, you know what I'm saying? When you're just getting ran like that, and your offense can't score, or can't move the ball, or can't do anything,
right?
I mean, we were just Michael Turk, our punter. He had like freaking 10 to 15 punts that game. Like,
everybody in the stadium, everybody watching at home knew y'all couldn't pass the ball. And so y'all was just playing behind the 8 ball the whole time.
When have you ever heard of that of Oklahoma?
No, not never.
Never. I can't remember the last time.
Never.
So it is what it is, though. Do you got anything else you want to touch on this game?
Nah, that's it, brother. That's
All right, props to my Sooners. Y'all got another win. Let's go. Let's go into this bye and keep this train rolling, man. I would love to see them win out. That'd be awesome. This next game that I want to talk about, we're going to go ahead and close it out with this one, is that Clemson at Florida State game. This one was a little tough game there for a little bit, pretty much for the whole game, and then Clemson ended up, you know what I mean, finishing it off, everything else, but it did take a late fourth quarter push. I thought Florida State was going to come back on them, man. I really did. You know, it looked like Clemson got kind of complacent in this game. They just basically, kind of like what I used to see Oklahoma do, where we get those big old leads and then we just let our foot off the gas.
Kind of what my Pokes did in the fourth quarter. If
college football shows you guys anything, don't let your foot off the gas.
Please don't.
You know what I'm saying? Because anybody can get beaten on any given Saturday. It's starting to turn into like the NFL.
So, I'll say this about Clemson, bro. Out of, I know they're number 4 right now in the country. Out of all the top 5 teams or top 10 teams, they seem to be the most vulnerable to me.
No, yes, I agree. 100%.
You know what I mean? They're very, very fortunate that they're playing in the ACC right now, because you put them in a Big 12 right now. You put them in the SEC. I don't know if they don't lose a game or two. Big 10, you know what I mean?
So, hell, you even put them in the Pac-12.
Yeah, don't forget about the Pac-12.
The ACC is literally the worst conference in college football
right now. Yeah,
it is. But at the end of the day, though, they're gonna go undefeated. They're gonna be in the playoff, and they still got Dabo Swinney to figure out some things, everything else. But if they're in the playoffs and they're going up against an Alabama, Ohio State, or Georgia, or Michigan, or Tennessee, they're out. They're out. They're not going to beat any of those teams. So I'm with you. I'm with you there. But they'll make the playoffs. It'll be a good little season for old Dabo, and you know what I'm saying? Move on from there. But DJ, he's looking good at times, but then there's other times he just completely disappears.
Yeah, we talked about DJ. He's not the guy. He's not that guy. He's not Deshaun Watson. He's not Trevor Lawrence. You're going to have these ebb and flows. He's like the stock market graph. Like, it's going to be up and down, up and down, up and down. And that's just the player he is. You know what I mean? You got to take the good with the bad with him. So,
well, hey, there it is, man. Is there anything else that you want to touch on to this game before we head on off here?
No, man. No.
All right, then. Hey, guys, you guys already know what time it is. Hop down there, hit that subscribe button. If you guys have already been staying here and you've watched the show to this point, you might as well hit that thumbs up button for the like, too.
Yes,
and then go ahead and hop down there in the comment box and let us know what you think about it. We want to hear all your guys' feedback. So without further ado, and with all that being said, this is the House Divided Podcast with your college football recap. And we are going to go ahead. We signed on in. And, man, we're going to sign on out of this thing, man. Peace.